Good day, everyone. So here again, you have me again here, exam bonus. So we want to talk about 2025 WAEC biology practical specimen. On this video here, I'm going to be analyzing the specimen, and below the video you can see my phone number right there. So if you want to contact me for anything, even for the exact examination question, you can DM me on WhatsApp. So I want to repeat myself now again, and I want to be very clear this time around. If you do have money to make payments for our services, please don't DM us on WhatsApp, because we are not sending anything, any single paper or sheet of paper to any student for free. So make sure if you are DMing on WhatsApp, you put it on your mind, or the back of your mind, that you're going to make payment for our services. So back to point, want to talk about WAEC biology practical specimen. So here I'm just going to be introducing you to the specimen, guiding you on how you are going to answer the exam questions on Wednesday. That's the day after tomorrow. So make sure you pay attention, close attention to this video. You might be watching this video at any different time, maybe tomorrow or even a day before the exam. So whichever time you are watching this video, please just pay attention to all the details I'll be talking about. So in your exam, you should be expecting your first question as this: identify specimen A, B, C. So what's specimen A? Let's go through all the specimen on the board right here at your front. Specimen A is identify. Specimen A is bean weevil. So if you are told to identify specimen A, your answer should be what? Bean weevil. Your specimen B is what? Bean seeds. So the seeds your teacher will be bringing to the exam hall, that they'll be setting for you as specimen in the examination hall, will be some bean seed with O's. So you can identify those specimen as bean seed with O's. Then C, your specimen C is water leaf plant. So when you're identifying those specimen in the exam hall, you don't need to put brackets in front of the bean seed with O's. You can write the bean seed together, bean seeds space with O's. You don't need to put brackets there. Your WAEC only specify that with O's, so that the teachers will procure specimens that has what? That has O's. So your specimen C is water leaf plants. So water leaf plant. So what are the questions we can have under these three specimens? Let's look into that matter now. So aside identify the specimen, they can ask you to state the phylum and class of specimen A. And what's the phylum of bean weevil? Bean weevil is an insect, and it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda. And this phylum is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. So you know we have a larger class called kingdom. According to the binomial classification, we have kingdom, we have phylum, we have class, we have family, we have order, and we have genus and species. So this insect belongs to the what? Kingdom of what? Animalia. And it belongs to the what? Phylum of what? Arthropoda. That's the largest phylum, and it belongs to the class of Insecta. Another question you can have there is: mention 3 adaptive features of A to its mode of life. So how does A adapt to adaptation for survival, or adaptation to mode of life? The first answer there is what? Long rostrum for feeding. So specimen A has a long rostrum for feeding. So rostrum is the feeding part of the what? Of the bean weevil, and that is its adaptation for what? For feeding. Small body size for penetrating seed. So the bean weevil are structured, their body is very small, so that they will be able to what? Penetrate the seed, and that their mouth long rostrum is what they use to what? To bore holes into the bean seed. Then the third adaptive feature is membranous wing for flying. So something very crucial you should know about this WAEC biology practical is that when you are told to answer question, state adaptive characteristic, adaptive features. You don't only state that characteristic or that insect or that plant or that fruit or anything. You also have to state the function. So the function has to come together with this feature, so that your answers will be complete. So moving on to the next question: what are the 4 economic importance of specimen A? So we have it destroys stored farm produce. Another thing I want to push in there, when you hear economic importance, we are not only talking about the important things this thing add to the farm or add to the economy. We're also talking about the negativities. So when you hear the word economic importance, it has to do with how does this bean weevil impact the economy. It can be positively, it can be negatively. So what are the economic importance of specimen A? It destroys stored farm produce, it causes losses to farmers, it reduces viability and quality of harvested grains. Let me take it again carefully. It destroys stored farm produce, it causes losses to farmer. So when this bean weevil destroy farm produce, the farmers, their income become reduced, the market value of the bean seed becomes what? Reduced. So even all these things I'm saying, there are also some other economic importance. So I've given you three like that. Number one, it destroys farm produce and therefore reduces the market value of the farm produce. It reduces the income of farmers because the market value of the seed has gone down. It reduces viability and quality of harvested grains. When you talk about viability has to do with, is this seed still capable of reproducing? Is it still in full form? So when the viability of the bean seeds are reduced, they will not be able to, if they are planted, they will not be able to yield crop. That means the viability of the seed is reduced. Another economic importance is that it serves as food for certain organisms in the ecosystem. So we as human beings, these bean seeds are beneficial for us. It's a source of food to humans. So that's another economic importance of specimen A. It is a source of food to humans. Identify specimen B. Yeah, specimen B, we have already identified that as bean seeds with host. Classify B according to its life cycle. Bean seed has a life cycle of what? Of annual. So it takes 1 year for the bean seed to complete the whole cycle from planting date to harvesting date. So it takes a life cycle of what? Of annual. That's 1 year. State 3 ways by which conditions of specimen B can be prevented. So how can you prevent the bean seeds from having holes? Number one, storage in airtight containers, use of fumigants or pesticides. So the pesticide is to prevent those bean weevils from coming there or from destroying the bean weevils that are already pre-existing in the seeds. So if you store your bean seed in tight container, you are going to prevent infestation of bean weevil. If you use fumigants or pesticides, you are going to prevent pests from infesting the bean weevil. Then irradiation of the seed, that's the last way of preventing bean seeds from having holes. That is irradiation of the seeds. Then what class of food can be obtained, or what class of food does bean seed belong to, which is what? Protein. So bean seed is classified beans or legume, or these leguminous bean seeds, they are classified to the class of what? Of protein. Identify specimen C with 3 reasons. Specimen C is a water leaf plant or Thalinum. You can check up the botanical name of water leaf plant on Google. It is Thalinum. Then what are the reasons? It is broad and spatulate leaf. The leaves are broad. It has a succulent stem. That's a succulent stem, and it is a solitary flower. It is a solitary flower. State the division. Another name for phylum is division. When you are talking about animals, we call it what? Phylum. When you are talking about plants, we call it what? Division. So the division of specimen C is Angiospermatophyta, and the class is what? Dicotyledon. When you say that is dicotyledon, it has what? 2 seed leaves. That's 2 seed leaves. So I will just be brushing through the other specimen because I will not want to waste time here. My main focus here is just to gather students that are interested in joining my VIP group, where they are going to be paying a sum total of 6,000 naira to join my VIP group for examination assistance. So if you are interested, please hit the WhatsApp number below the video. If you don't have money, please, I don't want your problems. Don't bring your family problems to my DM, please. I'm sorry for using that word. So please, can we just continue with the video? So identify other specimen. Your question number 2 will be talking specifically about specimen D, E, and F. And your question number 3 will be talking about specimen G, H, and J. Your specimen D has to do with quill feather. So you see this quill feather, it belongs to the what? To chicken, your domestic fowl. Let's not call it chicken, let's call it what? Domestic fowl. So quill feather belongs to what? To domestic fowl. And domestic fowl belongs to the phylum of what? Chordata, and it belongs to the class of what? Of aves. Aves is the class for what? For birds generally. So I'll be putting a diagram of this quill feather on the screen. You should even be seeing it on the screen already. So it's on the screen. So what are the adaptation of this quill feather for the birds to survive? So the adaptation of this quill feather is number 1. What are just the characteristics what are the functions. Let's talk about the functions first. So what are the functions of the quick feather to the bed? What are the functions of specimen D to the bed? Number one is for flight and for flying. So the quick feather, it helps the bird to what? To fly. Then the second one is for insulation. So when you talk about insulation, it helps the birds to retain heat, to be able to retain heat. So it helps to provide heat to the bird. It doesn't cause the bird maybe to feel cold. During cold weather, the feather are there to protect the bird away from cold and to conserve heat. Yeah, the right word there should be conservation of heat. So the quick feather of the bird helps the bird to what? To conserve heat. The third function is camouflage. So some birds use this feather for camouflage. So when you see them standing on a particular branch or on the grass where they are maybe the same color with it, just like your peacock. So if your peacock is on a green grass and it has the color of green, that's the kind of like a camouflage. Then another function of the quick feather is for courtship display. So courtship display, if the feather is colorful, then it serves the function of what? Of courtship display. Like even in peacock, when the male peacock wants to procreate, when it wants to recreate or reproduce with the female, when it wants to mate with the female, it kind of spreads its feather and display of masculinity of the peacock. So it's another function of the feather is for what? For courtship display. And then the last one is protection. So if you stone something on the bird, or the bird uses its feather for protection of either its young one and its matured ones. So those are the functions of the quick feather. So we have other specimen. We have the pineapple fruit and the orange fruit. I'll just be talking about the question you should be expecting. I will not be talking about the answer. So please get your pen and your jotter and write down these questions. So what type of fruit is specimen E and F? So you talk about you should know the type of fruit specimen E belongs to and the type of fruit specimen F belongs to. So it is in terms of what type of fruits they are. We have different classification based on the type of fruits. We have the berry fruits. So if they ask you that what are the types of fruit based on the placentation, you should know the types of answer you should be giving to the lecturer or to the teacher or to the examiner rather. So we have another question. What is the mode of reproduction of specimen E? Is it vegetative? Is it asexual? Is it suckers? Classify specimen F according to its life cycle. Is it annual? Is it perennial? Is it biennial? So what type of placentation is found in specimen F? So, and you should also know the diagram and the differences between specimen E and F, the similarities between specimen E and F. Make sure you know all these questions. Then moving on to the last question, which is question number 3. Raw egg. You should know the diagram of the raw egg. You should know how to determine the fertility of the raw egg. You should know the tests that can be tested on this raw egg, because we have specimen H, which is a test tube. So they can tell you that you carry out a test on specimen G using specimen H. So now your last one, specimen J, which is your boiled egg. You know, in this exam now we have two specimens that look alike, raw egg and boiled egg. So they can ask you that what are the similarities, what are the differences. So you should know the differences between specimen G and specimen J. So those are all the questions you should know, and that's all on biology. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notification, because we are going to be dropping some more banger updates for your upcoming examination. Thank you very much for watching this video.